My name is Daniel Tal, born in Israel, moved to Canada when I was a little baby, grew up in London, Ontario, moved to Toronto when I was 18 years old. I've always just been surrounded by lots of really creative people, and I don't think I ever decided to begin my creative process. I think just I was in a world of creativity, and it just swirls around you, and you get caught up in it. When I was young, I was in a band, and so there was a lot of creative stuff with that. Obviously, the songwriting was the most central one, but that was when I first started branching outside of my comfort zone at that time, which was being a musician. I was like, well, I can probably just get this other stuff done as well. Up until recently, I always wanted to be in the real life experience. I wanted to be surrounded by people. That's what felt right to me. So I like a lot of different moving parts and being involved in the minutia. And for me, the way that I've naturally looked at the world has been through kind of a mixture of a broad view, like a wide lens, and a very zoomed in view, just the small details. And I've always enjoyed merging those two things. My creative process is a lot of waiting. When I connect to my creative space, it's like a dark space. It's always dark colors, it's warm, it's serious. So I was just trying to find ways to be a little bit lighter and explore that side of creativity. And Anna Sofia, her music is complex and beautiful, but this one song in particular is a great mixture of super easygoing, super laid back, really fun, but also super true. She's at a much younger age than me, figured out how to combine depth and lightness at the same time. Social media never really spoke to me because it felt so disconnected. It's digitized. It doesn't have that energy of reality. With COVID, there's a huge, we're just kind of forced to take a step back and figure out, well, how else can we connect to each other? And to me, the answer has always been through art. That really forced me to be like, okay, let me try to see how I can take my understanding of real life and being in a space filled with energy that's connecting people. Let me see if I can transpose that into something that's on screen, where they can still feel something. And so I wanted to find a way where we could capture that in colors and in shapes and in space. So we worked with a hotel room at the Devonshire in the county, where it's beautiful and luxurious and relaxing and aesthetically gorgeous, and the color balance between the warmth of the inside and the coldness of the outside. You've got your incandescent yellows and oranges and reds on the inside that feels cozy, and then you've got that kind of cold, unwelcoming, unforgiving outdoors experience with the lake and the wind blowing, the snow on the ground. And it just seemed like that perfect juxtaposition, which she's talking about in her lyrics. I just want to be inside, but I'll go outside for a second, I'll entertain what everybody seems to want me to do, but now I'm gonna come back inside because that's where I wanna be. Easily the biggest challenge for me has been myself. Forever, just the voices in my head that belong to other people that I then agree with. The audience in my head of people over the years who've come and gone, they're real people who, for some reason, I feel I have to prove something to, and punishing myself inside my head if I feel I'm not doing that. The most important thing that I've learned so far is to trust your gut. You don't really have anything other than your gut, and your gut might be wrong, but it's more likely to be right than not going with it. There's going to be a lot of people who have a lot more experience, but that doesn't mean that they have the same vision. And so just listening to all these different suggestions and all these different approaches, if you adjust to every single one, I've learned that it starts to look incongruous, it starts to look scattered, and the worst is that it starts to feel inauthentic. Authenticity, I've learned after many inauthentic experiences, is doing what you know is right.